I want you to see the lies that these Democrats and all the other Democrats are doing to the American people. They're lying to the public. This is not peaceful protesting. These are people who are paid to protest, knock down doors, windows, throw things, beat people, cause fires, break windows. Let's listen in.
Portland and Seattle trying to burn down federal buildings, and the Democrats on Capitol Hill. And once again, they've proved our point. For several hours today, we saw the mobsters at work. But they weren't outside the building. They were inside, verbally, viciously attacking one of the most well-respected legal minds in America, our Attorney General, Bill Barr.
Shame on you, Mr. Barr.
Can I just say, Mr.
Shame on you.
You have consistently undermined democracy, undermined the Constitution, and undermined the health, safety, and well-being of the American people.
When you all came here and brought your top staff, you brought no black people. That, sir, is systematic racism.
Your failure to respect the role of peaceful protest in this country is a disgrace. It's un-American.
Mr. Barr, I just asked for a yes or no, so let me just tell you, I'm starting to lose my temper. This is my time, and I control it.
I introduced HRES 1032, which would require this committee to investigate your conduct as Attorney General and determine whether you should be impeached.
He couldn't even
For the
speak.
record, Barr's character, his reputation, his credentials are unimpeachable. I can't say the same for those folks. Now, I certainly couldn't say the same for any of the Democrat loudmouths hurling insults at him. Now, lest you forget what's been happening in major American cities, here's a reminder.
This is what's happening. But they wouldn't put it on TV.
Get off the property, walk right over there. That's where you push it from the road. The Democrats on the Judiciary Committee today, however, need you to see something very different.
And the protesters aren't mobs. They are mothers and veterans and mayors.
We've seen mothers and we've seen veterans who were peacefully protesting, not threatening the federal courthouse, beaten and gassed.
The vast majority of the protesters are peaceful.
Most of the protests have been peaceful, Mr. Barr. You know that.
Now, we have right now in this country what appears to be a very organized effort by thousands of people across the country to create chaos and undermine our faith in the rule of law. And the Democrats, you watch them today, they just do not care. Now, they're either willfully and purposefully ignoring the dangers to our entire system, or they're willing to let it all burn just to beat Donald Trump. Now, Barr, who's seen a lot in his career, could hardly believe what was unfolding.
Member of this committee, regardless of your political views, should condemn violence against federal officers. I see some of these Latin American countries in Central America where the police are very, very brave because the gangs they're trying to deal with go to their houses and kill their families. You never think that could happen here, but you could never think some of the stuff we're seeing today could ever happen here.
But it is happening here. And it's happening because Democrat mayors, governors, senators, and those congressmen have made a concerted decision to side with the very radicals who are threatening the lives of innocent Americans. They're doing it on interstate freeways, on bridges,
destroying
in federal
property,
buildings, and frankly, anywhere where rioters gather.
Since when is it okay to try to burn down a federal court? If someone went down the street to the Prettyman Court here, that beautiful courthouse we have right at the bottom of the hill, and started breaking windows and firing industrial-grade fireworks in to start a fire, throw kerosene balloons in and start fires in the court, is that okay? Is that okay now? No, the U.S. Marshals have a duty to stop that and defend the courthouse, and that's what we are doing in Portland.
Now, make no mistake, this is no longer the Democrat Party of Bill Clinton. It's not even the party of Barack Obama. This is the party of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, the Squad. This is the party of Antifa. This is the party of radical anarchists and revolutionaries who commit any crime against any person or any piece of property in order to get their way. And what's stunning to watch is that these domestic terrorists have become, in their own way, an active feature of the Biden campaign. Got to keep up the chaos, try to provoke a reaction from federal law enforcement, all to affect the outcome of a presidential election. And Judiciary Committee Democrats are taking cues from these despicable people, performing for a television audience, attempting to carry out what was the equivalent of reputational assassination of Bill Barr.
Have you now called for law enforcement to stop using these chemical irritants on protesters? Yes or no?
Pepper spray?
Yes.
No.
No?
I think it's a very important non-lethal option.
For protesters?
No, for rioters.
That was my question. For protesters?
No, for rioters.
Yes. Sir, America was founded on the principles of free speech.
When people resist law enforcement, they're not peaceful.
Claiming my time. I'm surprised at your lack of respect for a member of Congress.
I laughed out loud in my kitchen when I saw that today. The gentlelady was treated with more deference in that exchange than she deserved. She took her 5 minutes to launch a personal attack on a man with an impeccable record. Like her colleagues, she dissembled, distorted, and demonized for purely political ends.
What am I supposed to say to my constituents when they ask me if the government has done everything in its power to protect their loved ones from dying?
I would tell them that managing this kind of thing requires a lot of difficult choices and weighing different consequences.
I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie to my constituents. I am going to tell them that President Donald Trump and the Attorney General working together, they're letting Americans die needlessly because of political reasons.
Is it permissible for a member of this committee to accuse the sitting Attorney General of the United States of murder? Because that's what we just heard.
The members control all the time.
Mr. Chairman,
to
say whatever they want? What about rules of decorum?
Rules of decorum? Those were unfortunately out the window a long time ago.